Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Storms exit, and now we're focused on our holiday weekend forecast. It's not completely dry, but I think you're going to like the temperatures. We'll check it out coming up.
Okay, Ben, but we begin with breaking news just in from Roseville, where a suspected robber has been shot to death at a car wash.
Let's get to Tim Pamplin on the scene with the night cam. Tim.
This all going down at the car wash at Gratiot and Frazo, wash point in Roseville. Homicide detectives arriving on the scene. Now the guy cleaning out his vehicle here, that black SUV, using the vacuum cleaner. He wasn't about to be the victim of a robbery, an armed robbery. Now when the two men approached him, well, he pulled out his concealed weapon and started firing shots, killing one of the would-be robbers. He stuck around. Police are talking to him. He's cooperating with their investigation. The second would-be robber ran away. Police are checking area hospitals, thinking that he may have been struck as well. That is the scene in Roseville with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Okay, Tim. It was a wet night across Metro Detroit with some flooded reported. And Ben, is the rain over for the night?
Yeah, we're done with the rough stuff. We may see a couple light showers, Kim, overnight, but the flooding stuff is done. Here's Storm Tracker 4. The last of that, you can see it right there on the east side over into Ontario with some of those lightning strikes. In fact, it's a little bit heavier over there than what we saw as it exited southeast Michigan. However, further off to the south, you can see that there are some showers out there. We'll back it up and show you closer in there to the south zone. Again, that stuff is pretty light, but we did pick up quite a bit of rain in spots. In fact, there were places that picked up over an inch of rain. We talked about that during Local 4 News at 5 and 6, that was a possibility. You can see some of those green stripes there, over an inch of rain and some severe weather. And we'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Although, when we get to the rest of the weekend, holiday weekend is coming up. We do have some showers for the rest of tonight. I don't think it's going to be all that consequential. Again, a couple light showers as we get overnight. Tomorrow, the cold front will actually come through, and it's going to be late enough that it may scare up a few showers right there in the middle part of the day. Then we're going to be dry after that until we get into Thursday. Possibility of a shower then. Most of the holiday weekend is going to be dry, save for Sunday and Labor Day Monday. We'll talk more about the timing of those storms coming up in just a few minutes. Guys?
All right, Ben. Corner of Michigan and Trumbull is, of course, sacred ground to Detroiters. But lately, neighbors in Corktown say it's become a real headache. Concerts
hosted at the corner ballpark are drawing some complaints. Jason Colethorpe is there live tonight. Jason, so are we talking about bands or just loud music?
A little bit of both, Kim. There's some events with DJs, there's musicians playing, and remember, there are a lot of apartments and townhomes that circle this entire place. While we were setting up for our live shot 2 minutes ago, a neighbor poked her head out and said, "Boy, I hope you guys are doing something on the noise. It's been unbearable for years." And I said, as a matter of fact, we are. But also, some neighbors say they can hear this into the neighborhoods of Corktown going that way, and it's not always music that is good for kids to be listening to. The revitalization of Corktown is a sight to see. New businesses, townhomes, and many upscale apartment buildings now dot the area of Michigan and Trumbull. Several surround the site of Old Tiger Stadium, now the corner ballpark run by the Detroit Police Athletic League. This summer, some of the weekend events, many of them concerts, have gotten a little loud, according to some neighbors.
Shakes the windows. I mean, if you have a job overnight, you're not going to sleep. You're definitely going to hear the music. Last weekend, there was one that went, past midnight.
PAL provided us with a copy of its agreement with the city, and it states that events can go as late as midnight Friday and Saturday, and the 90 decibel noise limit does not apply to concerts. But it's not always just the noise.
Not only that, there's just trash in the street. There's empty liquor bottles and there's probably garbage like right over there where my wife's car is that I saw from this, whatever they had here Saturday.
PAL says the ballpark is used to host diverse events that provide much needed funding for its sports programs. And it is a priority to be a good neighbor with the people of Corktown.
And we just learned to kind of live with it. We've been here for a little over a year now, so it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, some people just kind of brush it off, but like that neighbor I was just talking about, she also says it's just a problem of trash that you see that happens. I do want to point out I talked to 3 separate neighbors who didn't have a problem with the noise. In fact, one woman said they, in fact, enjoy the music. But for the people who have put their complaints in writing or have complained online, PAL is hosting a town hall type event on Thursday where they're inviting the immediate neighborhood in to discuss any issues they may have with all of this. In Corktown, I'm Jason Coulthard, Local 4.
Okay, Jason, we appreciate it.
An Oakland County teenager remembering her stepfather tonight after he was killed in a terrible freak accident in White Lake Township. 42-year-old Ron Olinger was behind the wheel of his minivan when a tree came falling down on Williams Lake Road, crushing the van. His 18-year-old stepdaughter was in the passenger seat.
We were both looking up and we seen the tree start to shake a little, so he slammed on his brakes.
She says it took crews about 45 minutes to free her from the van. She suffered a broken collarbone, but sadly, her stepfather was pronounced dead at the scene.
When they finally cut me out and put me on the bed, I seen his arm and I tried to reach for him because I thought he was going to wake up. And he wasn't waking up.
DTE putting out a new statement tonight about tree trimmers working in that area. It reads, quote, while DTE has confirmed the contractor has been performing tree trimming in the neighborhood, they haven't been working at the specific location for weeks. This particular tree was not subject to trimming as it did not interfere with the power lines.
Several restaurant owners are upset in Canton, and it all has to do with food trucks. It started with Slo's Barbecue being allowed to operate a food truck in Cherry Hill Village. First, the township yanked the permit after other restaurants complained, but tonight it's back in business. Mara McDonald is in Cherry Hill Village, and Mara, location is definitely an issue here.
On 2 fronts, you know, I think the township would really like to bring cool, different things to this spot and sort of embrace a walkable community type of thing. And then you've got long-term residents who really don't think this is the spot for it. On the lawn here at Cherry Hill Village, the very popular Slo's Barbecue food truck has been a huge hit this summer. People waiting an hour in line for food.
And they're on an old historical site, the old schoolhouse, where they're leaving the trailer there. That was my big thing.
Rich Costantino of Rose's Restaurant, which has been in Canton for 26 years, is among a group of restaurateurs who penned a letter to the township complaining about the food truck.
How are you, Mrs. A? Good, good.
And while pulled pork and his chicken parmesan are 2 very different meals, they object to the truck placement and that city resources like land, water, and electric were used for Slo's benefit. Now, originally the township board opted to pull the permit for the food truck after that letter.
I think, Mike, we're at a point where we're ready for a roll call vote on this item.
But tonight revisited the issue and voted to up the fees. Food trucks will pay, but allow them. Costantino says it's a start, but he'd really like to see something more permanent.
I would love to have, as long as we have an empty building across the street. I'd love to have them next door as my neighbor as a permanent brick and mortar. It'd be great for us.
Essentially what the township has done is up the fees on food trucks, but also establish a committee with all the stakeholders here who can come up with a way for everybody to live together. We're in Canton Township at Cherry Hill. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Okay, Mara. Tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, Governor Whitmer will be updating the state's response to the coronavirus crisis.
And we expect the governor to address the reopening of gyms and movie theaters. You can watch the governor's briefing live. We'll have it on air and on clickondetroit.com. As for today, the state reporting 718 new cases of COVID-19 and 15 additional deaths. 8 of those from a review of past records. But since the start of the pandemic, Michigan now reports more than 103,000 cases of the virus. President Trump pledging to give $1 million to Kenosha law enforcement during his visit there today. The president also vowing to help rebuild businesses destroyed in riots. The city, of course, has been gripped by violence after Jacob Blake was shot 7 times in the back by a white police officer. The visit led to protesters on both sides clashing in the streets, with Blake's friends and family slamming the visit as a campaign stunt.
I will say this. We have to condemn the dangerous anti-police rhetoric. It's getting more and more. It's very unfair. You have some bad apples. We all know that, and those will be taken care of through the system.
We know why Trump is here in Kenosha today. It is the same reason he visited Portland. He is here to sow chaos and fear.
President Trump did not meet with Jacob Blake nor his family during his visit, saying the family wanted lawyers involved.
Tomorrow, General Motors CEO Mary Barra will make time to meet with President Trump's daughter and advisor Ivanka Trump. Ivanka will take a tour of the GM Technical Center in Warren. She will meet with Barra and speak with some employees and apprentices on the Tech Center campus. The White House says the purpose of the trip will be to learn more about GM's training of skilled trade workers and engineers. Still ahead, the land around Eastern Market could soon look a lot different.
We'll have a look at what the city is planning to do that would transform a long vacant site.
And a police canine caught in the crossfire of a shootout. What led to the standoff that ended with an officer being rushed to the hospital.
But first, with 36 states now reporting a spike in cases at colleges, the head of the FDA addresses whether a vaccine